Hello all, and welcome to round 2 of the Guild versus Colon 3 game here. Teams have swapped sides here, the Guild going to ANS and Colon 3 going to OSP. We are here on Blood Moon, the most cinematic map in the game. Run down through the teams. The Guild, we have Misk, Potato, Secret Mink, and Star. Colon 3, Tavi, Hive, Gender, Natasha, and Internets. Let's take a look at where they are deploying. We're pretty early on in the deployment, so we'll see more ships. OSP only, Colon 3 only has like 30 ships out right now, so let's take a look at what where ANS is going. A lot of ships up high over the B point here, very interesting. Maybe long-range 450 Capitals trying to park on that rock up there to deny to fire at C and B simultaneously. We do have some ships more in the middle here to try and potentially go for the B cap here. Nissan Al Gaib, that's a cap ship right there. Potentially heading for the B point. We have some cappers for the D point here and some cappers for the A point here. Typically on Blood Moon, the engagement happens near the B point here. There's a lot of cover here, so a lot of teams like to deploy there. It's much easier to stay alive on that side, whereas the A side is very open, very long sight lines, making it any ships that go through there are very vulnerable to long-range rail and 450 fire. Yeah, Colon 3 opting to deploy only one ship at the A side here. Very interesting. We will see what they've brought here as they're all going low. Oh, they're going low. Oh, this is a D push. Colon 3 is going for the D point here. It looks like they're going to swing under the main rock here and go for ANS's natural. We also have a couple ships here. I see a plank boss. All right. Let's see what we got. We have all reaching, all taking. This is one of the default OSP fleet carriers. We will see if this has been modified at all, but no, this is the exact hull. Same bridge, same modules. Interesting. All right, let's take a look at the fleet. Starting with ANS, Misk has brought Pit Boss. This one's actually properly named, unlike Colon 3's. Pit Bosses are very cheap Axfords. The Axfords have impressive armor, and so how cheap you build them, it doesn't matter. You still have the armor. These things are mostly for defending cap points from light assets, and it looks like it is going for A. OSP only has this one cap ship there to, yeah, this Pit Boss will be able to deny the A point quite well. Misk also has a beam destroyer on the B side here, looking to deny the B point from cappers. Couple spy frigs around the map, or one of them, and 2 torpedo cappers. No, never mind. These are S3H cappers with some torpedoes. And a cringe capper for the natural. Potatoes bringing a 450 gun battleship here. We are track correlated spyglass. Yep, track correlated spyglass. This thing will be able to put long range fire support down range. Very accurate salvos at range. Very nice to see. And some support jamming Ewar ships for defending the Solomon. Yep. Secret Mink has a, looks like a levy half cap. One levy with some, no bombers on this thing, only craft, only Tontos. Some railguns, 2 railguns in the back here at B point. And various gun cappers by the looks of it. Yep. And then Star's got the CLs, 250 with an S3 backpack. S3H's, radar whiplash drive, pretty standard here. Escorted by a, I'm assuming this is a Jam Corv. It is a Jam Corv. All right, love to see it. Opening stages of the map here. Both teams really heavy on this B side here. Looks like Colon 3 is going for the D cap here, rushing their ships under the map here. Let's see what they brought. Tavi's got the monitor ball. Monitor ball with a jamming escort here. I'm assuming this is the same monitor ball they brought in the last tournament game I casted on Valley. Very interesting to see here. They are being escorted by one of Natasha's Acellos here as it sticks close to the swarm here, protecting it with its point defense and soft kill. Natasha also has a rail cello down low, looking to put some fire into ANS Capitals. 250 fire into this capper on the B point here, as those voxels are already in position to deny the B point here with the RPF. Yeah, this ship is not going to be able to cap the B point. It's just going to get torn apart. Hive with a fleet carrier. This is all reaching, all taking. This is one of the default carriers. Looks pretty standard. Yeah, this looks like the default thing. I thought the default... Did the default have halberds or pikes? I can't remember. It's possible that this could have been changed. Missiles... missiles look... No, missiles are definitely changed. Yeah, so this is definitely a modified Task Force Amethyst. We will see what they do with it. Bomber Squadron already up with S... Oh, no, these are torpedo bombers. Where are these things going? Has ANS's capitals already been detected? No, okay. Don't know where they're going. All right. And yeah, those are the... Oh, wait, no, we haven't looked at Internet's fleet yet. Whoops, my bad. They are running a 450 half-cap fleet. 450 liner here. Looks like it's going wide and back, playing defensively. They also have an E-War tug up here. This is Plank Boss. This is for defending caps from light assets. Very nice to see. We also have some various gun cappers around the map here. Capper on B goes down to the RPF. ANS here should have no trouble retaking that, although Plank Boss is in position. Plank Boss has been locked! Trading fire with the Voxels, that's not what you want to see. Plank Boss does not want to be dealing with anything other than, like, frigates and cap assets. Double Halberd Squadron here. Going wide, interesting. And another one down here as well. What do these have on them? They have S... What's the S? Who's the missiles? You have the missiles. Okay. These are act frag. Okay, interesting. Potentially trying to scout out, like, I'm assuming these are for scouting out and destroying AWACS. Potentially. We will see. This AWACS is not spotted, though. Early position here. Looks like ANS is going to be able to secure C points. They should be able to secure A point here. There's nothing that OSB has here to deny that. They do have a squadron of 3. These R1 rockets, Barracudas here, although a shuttle with proper reinforced compartments should be able to survive a hit from those, especially if there's only 3 of them. Guncapper is starting to move onto the point here, although the pit boss is already in position to deny that. B point going to ANS here. Plank Boss identifying, Plank Boss doing its job, engaging this ship here, although those torpedoes are launched. Does this thing have Pavis? This thing does have Pavis. These things have any terminals is the question. Nope! No terminals on those torpedoes, as they are easy prey for the Pavis. Additional fire support from the Monitor and a Cello going into this capper here. OSP making sure that ANS does not take this point here. Third torpedo goes out. Nope, that is a hybrid. HE-shaped. Intercepted by the AMMs. This Monitor playing good missile defense as it's intercepted all of the missiles coming from that thing. And B point is denied. We have a miniature furball up here as one of the R1 rocket strikes from Hive gets intercepted by Coil Tontos. But these Coil Tontos were anti-ship as well. And at close range, the Barracudas should be able to take this thing out. If they would fire it the right direction, where this thing's trying to shoot at. Oh my god. There it goes. C point does get secured by ANS though. And it looks like they should also have no problem taking the A point here. The pit boss is detected. This ship here needs to know to not push or it's just going to get obliterated. R1 rockets go out into the pit boss here. OSP will soon know what exactly this asset is. Perch 1 rockets will not get through the armor of an Axford, as all of those missiles do, like, no damage. Those things didn't even breach the armor. This pit boss is fine. Pit boss has acquired the cap ship here. This cap ship here identifying that it needs to get out of there immediately or it's going to get torn apart, but honestly, I think it's too late. I think this thing, yeah, the RPF's going to add up on this thing really quickly, and I do not think it's going to be able to get out of there in time, as A point is entirely open for ANS to take here. Colon 3 doesn't really have a whole lot of map control right now. Most of their assets underneath the map here, trying to go for the D point here. Although a push with monitors is exceptionally slow, these things are going to take a while to get onto the point there. Battleship and Voxels up top here. and the rail support as well are just going to prevent any OSP push, OSP frontline push onto the B point. Yeah, and the Voxels are already starting to push onto the point here, recognizing that there's not a whole lot for ANS or OSP to throw at them to deny the cap. Internet's 450 liner moving up the top of the rock here, potentially trying to get fire maybe into those Voxels. ANS doing an exceptional job keeping their front line undetected here, although there's not a whole lot of OSP sensor assets over here anyway to spot them, as it doesn't look like Colon 3 really knows what's going on there. I was wrong. The ship does manage to get behind cover before it gets RPF to death, although it is still spotted and this gunship is within weapons range. A point being secured by OSP here, as that is going to be a 4 cap for the guild if Colon 3 is unable to deny that. Doesn't look like they will be able to. They have no assets like anywhere near the points. Squadron of 8 of these torp bombers built up by Hive. They are vectoring onto potentially the pit boss? This gunship here should be able to outgun this already damaged capper here. Internet's realizing that they are not going to win this gunfight. They need to get behind cover immediately. 8 point is not going to be able to be denied by this one already damaged ship. Here comes the decap here. Although ANS has ships in the area, they have some torp corps up here to deny that. They have one gun corps, and I think they still have their... Oh, no, that's just a cringe capper. Their fleet carrier incredibly vulnerable back here. If OSP decides to commit to this push, they will be able to detect that carrier and obliterate it. Although it looks like... Yeah, OSP is moving on to the D point here. Internet's 450 liner withdrawing from the B side, opting to go more towards A. Interesting. Colon 3 perhaps realizing that they left this side of the map completely open, looking to shift resources over to deal with the pit boss. OSP gets the drop on this cap ship here, starts taking rail fire. Railguns aren't going to be doing a whole lot to a sprinter, although... Never mind, I stand corrected. Is this thing's radar enabled to run? This thing... Oh, no. 50% debuff to the power plant efficiency as this ship's radar is offline. It doesn't have the power to run it. They're firing on a visual track here. Those shells are going to go wide. I stand corrected. The rail is very effective at dealing with sprinters, evidently. Look at that. The guild pushing aggressively over the point here, trying to get the drop on this plank boss here. B point still uncontested. This push completely unspotted as well. Colon 3 does have sensor assets in the area to detect this massive push, although they're not aiming in the right direction. Tyrant Squadron committing 2 torpedoes on the capper here. These are Act Command and ARAD Act. Homing in on this ship here. No, its radars are not MCOM'd, as those torpedoes are going to make short work of that sprinter. Tyrant Squadron still has enough munitions to deal with this pit boss if they can get around the rock here. And it looks like that is exactly what they're trying to do. Massive push still going over the rock here. It looks like they are diving down to count the point here. KBU's into this cap ship here. Although this cap ship still has functioning point defense, Arbiter Squadron is not going to be able to get the kill there. D point still being contested by this severely damaged gunship here, although its magazine is down. Only a basic CIC. This gun shuttle should win that gunfight there. And all that's left behind this rock is this cringe camper, which does not have the means to dislodge that ship from D point. This carrier's got to be careful. If this ship can get around... Yeah, no. Are these things spotted? Oh, no. These craft are spotted heading behind the rock there. Colon 3 is paying attention. They should know exactly where ANS's carrier is. D point being secured by Colon 3 there as they finally get the cap point. Massive furball over here. Oh, dear. That is a lot of craft. We have a massive engagement over here as looks like a lot of craft from Colon 3 get the jump on just a small squadron of Tontos here. Those Tontos are just going to get blown apart here by this massive swarm. Tyrant Squadron flanking around, going for the Pit Boss. Pit Boss's aircraft cover is gone as these craft are going to get around. Pit Bosses have no point defense. If these bombers can get strike out, yeah, that Pit Boss is going to just get obliterated. Eagle Squadron coming over the rock here, although these are... Eagle Squadron looks like it's only defensive equipment. Torpedoes out from long range. These are still Act Command, Val, and ARAD Act. Is the Pit Boss going to turn off its radars? Pit Boss has its radars off, but those torpedoes are still going to find their way home. At least some of them are. Not taking a whole lot of damage. This ship completely fully recoverable and still combat capable at the moment. Those torpedoes doing a bit less damage than I think Hive wanted them to. Although A point is going to be open for the cap as this Pit Boss... wounded but not out, but I don't think it's going to be able to push around the corner here to get the A point in time. D point going back into the hands of the guild here. It looks like they're bombers. Yeah, the KBU-15 strike against this cap asset works and takes it out. Colon 3 realizing that they need to take care of this sprinter immediately if they want to hold on to that cap. The Ocello already swapping fire, putting 450 into the bow of this thing. This thing is not pancaking. That 450 might kill this thing before it caps the point. That's only a basic CIC. There are no restores left in this thing. Will the 450 be able to take this thing out? The rail counter battery into the Ocello, though, as the DDs find the target. But this ship goes down before it's able to retake the point, as D point remains in the hands of OSP. The Railstones identifying a priority target in this voxel. I did it again. I did it in the opposite direction this time. This is Ocello, as it's trying to get behind cover, it looks like, to avoid getting railed. A point in the hands of OSP here. This Pit Boss not able to get into firing arc. Eagle Squadron jumping Photon Squadron. These things are going to detect the carrier. OSP is going to detect where ANS's carrier is. Carrier already starting to maneuver, recognizing that it needs to get out of there immediately or it's going to get attacked by a craft, bomber strike, something. Monitors trying to move closer to the Ocello to get in range of its point defense. The Plank Boss unable to hold the B point here as it gets jumped by the battleship. Wasn't able to get much damage out, but it was able to deny the B cap for a little bit there. ANS with a points lead, but now OSP takes the cap lead here. As OSP completely pivots from the B side to holding the A side here. Testament to the speed of OSP's assets here as they move over to the other side of the map in short order here. This Pit Boss here trying to move on to retake the A point here. Is there anything in the area to prevent that Pit Boss from taking the A point? Does not look like it. This 450 liner is facing in the wrong direction, putting fire into the battleship. Gets a little bit of chip damage into the battleship, damaging one of the magazines, but not a whole lot. The Ocello also trying to hit the battleship a little bit, not really doing a whole lot of damage, though. The range bracket that these things are engaging at. Never mind, Spearfish rockets into the Pit Boss. Those are going to hit. That Pit Boss is still alive, but unfortunately for it, I'm assuming Damon has unguided bombs. Yeah, if Damon's squadron can get those unguided bombs out, this expert is not going to be able to take the A point here. They are lining up. This random ass Pike also engaging the the expert here. No idea what that. What just happened? Did one of the bombs just blow up the craft? I think one of the bombs hit one of the craft. A 450 shell hit the craft from the Ocello? Unfortunate friendly fire as a 450 shell completely obliterates one of the craft here. That was interesting. That was like a rail or something. Don't see that all that often. Damon needs to commit to releasing the last of their bombs onto this Axter before it takes the A point there. They have enough bombs left to blow the thing up before it takes the point, but they need to get distance in order to do the run-up. They get enough distance. They go in. The bombs are authorized. They're going to drop these things at point-blank range. This Axford CIC is down. Its point defense will not be able to shoot these down. Still didn't kill it! This Axford's going to take the A point. Maybe. The 450 might kill it, potentially. No, it takes the A point. Pit Boss with one last defiant middle finger to Colon 3 here, taking the 8 point from right underneath this massive swarm of bombers and the entirety of their front line. That is unfortunate for Colon 3 there, as they are going to need to commit some sort of asset to retake that. They do have a shuttle already heading towards the point, though, so they will be able to retake it in short order. Unfortunately, though, with that 3 cap, ANS is going to start ramping up the points again. The Voxels flanking around the map here. They are putting fire into this this tugboat up here that's currently spawning them. This fleet carrier needs to start moving or it's going to get caught out by the Voxels. What is that range we are at here? Fleet carrier is at 10-kilometer range. That is a lot closer than you want to be to Voxels. 10, 11, 12, somewhere in that range. They need to close the range by 4 kilometers and they'll be able to start putting 250 into the fleet carrier. C point being taken by Colon 3 here. They get a ship onto the point. As corresponds with a strike from Strife Squadron here, getting R1 rockets into this asset here. That thing's magazine... Oh, no, that's a reinforced CIC. The thing's CIC is down. It does get it back online. Does this thing have any torps left? It has 1 torp and 1 S3. Streak Squadron, though, also putting some... Are those S... Were those S2s? Those were S2s. Denying the C point. C point remains in the hands of the guild. A point being retaken by OSP here. They finally get the ship onto the point. The monitors and Acellos pivoting low to deal with the Voxels. Already getting some 450 fire into them. It looks like they have identified a threat to their fleet carrier and they are moving to engage. This 450 liner from the internet's caught out in the open by this battleship here. They need to get this thing into cover, or that track-correlated spyglass battleship is just going to chew them up. Beautiful, beautiful map this map is. The battleship just pushing forward at full speed. Trying to get to Colon 3's front line to engage it. Voxels turn to bow tank. The Pit Boss blows up on the A point there, nearly cooking the fleet carrier. Sure if that fleet carrier didn't have any craft in the area, they would have just gotten vaporized. S3, these are HEKP S3H out on the fleet carrier here, although they are going to get intercepted by Gorgon Squadron as effective combat air patrol from Hive prevents them from getting obliterated by the hybrids. The monitors are now in plasma range of the Acellos as the Acellos realize that they might have... Acellos! I did it again! I keep doing this! The Voxels, realizing that they might have pushed too far forward, one of them already target locked by the Acello. See, I did it right that time. That is an Acello. They start taking some fire here. It looks like they're trying to move back into cover. The monitors... What is the range between the battleship and those monitors? Because that battleship's getting awfully close to those monitors. 5 kilometers away from the monitors! If this battleship's not careful, it's just going to get torn apart by that monitor ball. The battleship needs to engage at long range for it to be fully effective. If it gets too close, it's just going to get torn up. Tavi getting really... not Tavi. Internet's getting really unfortunate with their liner here. Its drives get knocked out in the arc of this 450 Solomon. They need to get that thing up and going immediately or this liner is toast. Damage is starting to add up on the Voxels. Doing a good job of orbit dodging. Radar Whiplash Drive, very effective at avoiding incoming fire. This battleship, out in the middle of the map here, is very exposed to a potential carrier strike from Hive. Are they getting a strike prepared? Looks like they are just landing their previous strike that they launched against the Pit Boss. Looking to rearm those and get the strike probably into this battleship here. This battleship is out in the open here. A very tempting target for the carrier. The rails continuing to focus fire, getting supporting fire into this liner here, helping the battleship by messing up all the damage control teams. The battleship swapping target. The battleship did swap targets slightly. These are HEKP out on the monitors. The Ocello is in range. Will it be able to do enough? No. The HEKP goes for the Ocello. Cores out the center stack here. This Ocello is recoverable, but that's gotta hurt. These monitors already moving to engage the battleship, recognizing that if they can catch this thing out in the open here, they're gonna chew it up really badly at close range. We have a torpedo strike from Foxhound Squadron heading directly towards the battleship. It does appear that I was right about Hive prepping a strike against that battleship. It's a very tempting target for them to go after. Dagger going into the hands of A&S here, although the monitors are in range with their T-30s, are going to have something to say about this. This is already, it's only a cringe capper. D-point is likely going to be secured by, oh, wrong cap point. I was looking at the wrong cap point entirely. They're going to be able to deny E, but not D-point. The monitor's moving out the point as the guild gets that 3 cap back. No, that's a 4 cap. A&S secured the E point. They got it in time. As they're going to get a 4 cap, the monitors begin to engage the battleship here, putting Hesh down range. They are already in plasma range. Gorgon escorting Foxhounds. Foxhounds has their torps out. Is this battleship going to MCOM? Doesn't look like it. These torpedoes are coming in here, although Ballista Squadron coming in to try to engage, but those Act Command's getting spoofed by the active decoy. Those torpedoes are not going to be making it through, and Ballista is going to jump onto Foxhound, looking to kill as many bombers as possible before they make it back to their carrier. Follow-up strike is needed. A beam! A beam goes out into the monitors, catching them off guard. That beam is out into the side of this thing. Kills its drive immediately. Poor Tavi needs to focus onto that keystone to make sure it doesn't get obliterated. This Ocello, though, does round the corner here, trying to get its 450s to bear on this keystone here. Unfortunate timing for that beamstone to hit Tavi's fleet here. Excellent play from the guild, though, getting that ship into the proper position to properly engage that front line, as the battleship is going to start fighting the monitors with support from the beam. The beam, recognizing that there is an Ocello in the area, trying to withdraw behind cover before its beam gets knocked out, although it looks like it is, I think it's trying to swap target to the Ocello here, which is broadside. Ate a lot of HEKP. Rail fire support into this keystone here. It is bout on to where the rails are coming from, and yeah, that's going to be a lot of damage. This Ocello will be able to finish off this this keystone here, but unfortunately the keystone's already put a lot of damage into this monitor ball here. E-point being secured, resecured by Colon 3 here. Colon 3 needs to start worrying about the caps here, as they have been down on cap points for most of the match here. And this carrier really needs to start getting effective strikes into that Solomon there before this monitor ball goes down. If they can deal with this battleship, they can split cap and hold the points with the monitors. The battleship here taking a lot of fire from those rails. You can see the fires and debuffs start adding up here. Does this thing have fire suppression? Doesn't look like it does. Those rails are going to start adding up. Internets gets their liner back online as it starts putting 450 into this battleship here. This battleship caught between several fleets, starting to take a lot of damage. S1 and S2 strike onto this Bloodhound tug here. Oh, that was an AMM. Trying to distract the point defense. This tug is heading onto the D point here. Internet's completely out of cap assets here. They're relying on these support tugs to get the points. Or Squadron sends KBU-22s into this frigate up here. Almost, that's probably that's a mission killed frigate, but unfortunately there's no assets up here for OSP to send for the C-cap to take advantage of that. Damage on the battleship is starting to add up as its front gets chewed up quite significantly here. Supporting fire from the 450 liner also helping out. The Ocello moving for the B point here. There's nothing to stop it from taking the point. This keystone is messed up. No restores. That is a mission-killed keystone. As this, yeah, this Acello is just going to be able to step onto the point. Starts getting 450 fire into the Voxels back here, trying to get fire on them. The Voxels moving to the A point here. Will they be able to be stopped before they take the point? We will see. The Monitors pushing the battleship, desperately trying to get rid of this frontline asset so they can focus on other things. The Voxels have split here. Looks like one of them potentially going for the E point here. The only thing to stop it is rails, although the Monitors... If the Monitors can recognize the threat to the cap, they may pull away from the battleship to go for the Voxel. This 450 liner continuing to just get chewed up by the battleship here with supporting fire from the Voxels. The Voxels are rather worse for wear. Their center stack is mostly gone. These things are not as combat effective as they used to be, although they are still a deadly threat for OSP to deal with. Rails going into one of them, getting supporting fire, trying to deny the A point, slow them down as much as possible. Hive needs to get strikes out on those craft, the Voxel before it takes the point. 7 of these bombers here. No, looks like they split. That is a squadron of 3 going for this Voxel here. Hive recognizing that they need to hold the caps. No, that is 7. There are 4 more back here. This battleship not getting struck, surely because there are more pressing priority targets for OSP to deal with. The AMMs fire from the liner all go into the ship as this liner gets KBU'd. Ouch. The Monitors continuing to press against the battleship here, knocking out most of the front guns there. KBU-22s at range into the Voxel here. Very interesting. Will these hit? Voxel managing to dodge the strike there, although those are Spearfish. The Spearfish also miss. One of them hits, taking out one of the drives. Most of the front of this thing gone. Oh, it got chewed up by the Monitors. That's what happened. The other Voxel diving onto the E point here. The Acello trying to engage it at long range from the B point. Not really going to be able to do much at that range. Railguns coming in. Oh, this thing's mag just got sniped. As the Railcello recognizes that it can just step onto the E point and contest. OSP sending Monitors to the C point here. Nothing to stop them from stepping on the point and taking it here. Question is, will they be able to get cap assets onto the points before the timer ticks out? ANS has a massive points advantage here that Colon 3 needs to catch up with. This Vox lost most of its equipment here, trying to restore a gun and a magazine to become combat effective. Although, does this carrier still have the means to deal with that? No, out of Spearfish. Do you have some do you have some KBU-22s still? Could potentially take out this already crippled Vox here. Although no, a Monitor looks like it's going to be able to do that quite easily. Looks like Colon 3 is going to be able to take the C point here. They are moving a shuttle onto the point here. This is the jam shuttle from the Monitor Ball. The Monitor Ball needs to put some supporting fire into this gunship up here, or this capper is just going to get obliterated. Are they turning their guns? Let's see. Doesn't look like it. Oh, one of the Monitors is turning to engage this asset up here. If they're able to get enough fire onto that capper up here, C point will go into the hands of Colon 3. I don't think this ship is going to have enough damage output to kill this jammer capper before the Monitor tears it apart. 100 mil fire already going directly into this thing, yeah. CIC goes down, yeah, C starts to fall to Colon 3. The Monitor stepping onto the A point here, making sure that this Voxel does not get back up. This Voxel is mission killed, no restores, structure broken, no weapons. E point able to be contested by this this Railcello here. The rail's continuing to go into this poor Vox here. Not starting a whole lot of fires. Do you have fire suppression? No, you don't. Why don't you have any fires burning? Are these rails just overpinning so completely that they're not starting fires? That's kind of funny. That is a little bit silly. Monitor that was heading to the D point looks like it gets struck by, I'm assuming Spectre Squadron had. Yeah, Spectre Squadron gets a strike off on this monitor here. This reactor's overloading. Work speed minus 50%. Will they be able to fix that before it explodes? Potentially. We will keep an eye on that monitor, see if it is able to fix it. 4 cap in favor of Colon 3 here as they manage to get their assets onto the cap points. The battleship magazine sniped, rather worse for wear, attempting to get onto the C point and try and cap it, but these monitors are still fully combat effective, able to continuously put fire into this battleship, continuously knock out the magazines. Battleship does get its magazine back online, but its guns are all knocked out in the front. The monitor detonates before it takes the D point there, not scramming in time. The team's unable to fix the reactor in time as it just blows up. There, now it has a single fire. I don't think either ship on the E point is going to be able to deal enough damage to the other to change the situation there. The rail cello is firing into a pancaked voxel, and this voxel has only one gun operational. A very, very silly fight on the E point here. But it will mean that Colon 3 will be able to hold the point. Does look like this monitor doesn't have any restores to bring the drive back online. Oh no. It does have a gun in arc. It can potentially get some supporting fire into this box to support the cello. The battleship sacrificing itself by the looks of it to try and maybe take the point here. Although yeah, these two monitors are just going to be able to shoot it up pretty badly. Although the battleship does still have that back gun operational. Does knock out the C-90 on this monitor here. These monitors do not have any plasma with them, so they're only going to be relying on their HESH rounds and also firing into areas that have already been plasmid. I do not think this battleship's going to be able to chew through the monitors fast enough, though, to help. Bastion opening fire on Joker Squadron. Joker Squadron trying to launch KBUs into the monitor. They get shot down for their troubles. Mamba Squadron, however, comes in behind. That flag just chunking away at these craft carriers. Yeah, that one stone wall, not one stone wall, that one bastion should be more than enough to shoot down these incoming missiles. Those are S2s, command guided. Hits on one of the monitors. KBU 15s into the other. The monitor's armor absorbing most of the damage, though. Crippled liner trying to get onto the D point here. One of the rail stones is still up and running here. As the 450 liner, or what's left of the 450 liner, attempting to engage this railstone here. The railstone only has one DC team. It's only a rapid. This crippled liner should be able to win this fight, I'm assuming. How many teams? You still have 4 teams left. You should be fine. 450 supporting fire from the Ocello, though, is going to make sure that this rail stone goes down. This voxel on the 8 point, still moving. Still has a drive and a CIC left. Although, against this monitor, it will not be able to take the point there. The guild recognizing that this is over. We have a surrender from the guild. Making it 0-2 in favor of Colon 3 as they take this tournament game. They are moving on, eliminating the guild. They are going to be one of the 4 teams left in this tournament here. And yeah, Colon 3 moves on. We are going to Peanut Gallery to debrief.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, that's us. Hi.
Hello.
Gee, good style. You got us good.
Good
How?
game.
Those were two
How did
good
that
games.
Ocello fucking survive?
They all
Five
hit
heck
the
peas.
side. They all hit the side.
That is true. All they really did was core the
They
center
cored it.
stack. But yeah.
Yep. The CIC survived.
Damn.
I had the
Heck,
stores.
Heck be taken away. I'm mostly surprised how fine those MNs are after I beamed the fuck out of them. Like,
Me too.
You got a good beam into one of them, but the rest of them are relatively.
I
Yeah,
watched. I wish
what
I
if-
was recording because I watched a torpedo fly directly into a shuttle. It registered, there was an explosion, and then I zoomed in and it was undamaged.
Yeah, you had a
Clonk?
clonk.
Did you get
stuff
clonked?
like stuff
Oh,
like that.
God, we got
happens.
aim pointed to shit that match.
There were so many desync things.
Okay.
Yeah,
the
that
one-
was a good
the one
game, though. I
where
enjoyed
you
that
hit
one.
Yeah, that
with
was
a
good.
Solid beam though. You knocked out the drive and every DC locker on.
Yeah,
it.
that is true. I noticed it. It was sitting there with no restores. I love how only like
Yeah,
the drive was dead
I
too.
think
That
if
was rather
we-
sad.
I think if we'd managed to stop the Ocello that eventually took B, we might have actually been in with a shot
Yeah.
at that one.
Right.
Oh,
You guys
yeah.
were,
You guys
were really,
outmaneuvered the hell out of us.
Yeah, that first game, you
It-
absolutely creamed us. Well done. That
Yeah.
was very well executed.
We
I feel
gambled
like- Blame Mink,
on.
blame Mink.
We, I take credit for it.
Go,
We were
Pizza.
gambling on Pit Boss rushing E, and we were thinking, oh, well, we just send the front line low E, kill Pit Boss, go up to C, but it was light cruisers that could run away.
Oh,
So then we
yeah.
ended up just getting kited and crossfired for like the rest of
Yeah.
the 30 seconds
Yeah.
that game lasted.
You guys did really good there. After you saw our big front line, you're like, I'm not taking that, and then you skirmished and we died.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. If we had one problem in these matches, it was that we never managed to like interpose our front line into yours in any way. Like you
Right.
just went
You
around
guys,
us.
you guys always, you kind of had the advantage in front line for most of the matches durations, but you
Yeah,
guys.
so you
Colon
guys have
three-
to go
Colon
win
three-
now, right? Because
Colon
otherwise
three
we look
just
bad.
Colon
So-
3 just maneuvered super well and was always in good enough position to deal with it.
I
Yeah,
was
that
not
was really good
expecting from the
stuff.
Moor line to just say, all right, everyone else go on the other side. I will take this entire side and drop giant Giga Hell Bomb Death Wings and obliterate everything in my line
It
of
works
sight.
well. I do that with my journeyman and journey caps. I've never thought like, what if I did that with literally the hog area? But
It works well because my team tells me what to do, so it's like my awareness is expanded to accomplish whatever they do.
nice.
Honestly,
good.
whenever I'm doing Garrier, it really helps when I have a team that is like, do this, do that, because I just don't have enough mental stack capacity to do anything.
Yeah, good
Oh,
trading
those
caps
are-
with you in that last
Oh,
match.
those are
Internet.
railguns. Okay, those are railguns. I'm like, wow, those are some really cheap beam stones. What?
No.
No, 420-point rail destroyers. Best investment you'll ever make.
No, they were doing good. They were making
they had
internet's
my-
liners suffer for the entire match.
Dude,
It
you're
was,
the
like,
only
literally-
thing that was big enough for the spike or for the sundial tracks to be fireable on.
Oh, that explains. Like, you guys were shooting that thing for fucking ages, and then you bombed it, and my AMMs hit myself.
Yeah, I got a good,
was
I
like
got a
that.
good, I got a good recording of all of your AMMs going directly into your own ship.
That was
I saw that, yeah.
Oops, too
Yeah,
hard
we got
maneuver.
styled on in game one, but game two was a good match. I enjoyed
I
that.
really wish
Okay.
that like game 0 wasn't destroyed by a bug, because I feel like positionally we were in a very good spot.
Yeah, we were in a very good spot.
Oh, yeah, game 0, dude. we were so cooked.
I was feeling pretty good about game zero. I killed a lot of sprinters.
Yeah, we had
Liam,
half
is
their
that
cap
what-
fleet dead before that ended on
Yeah.
game 0.
That is true. Yeah, they
No, 'cause,
I mean,
okay,
Did you have
the
two
actual-
battleships that first game?
a
No,
battleship
the
and an axe.
the
Okay.
actual cap fleet was fine. It was all like the friendship sprinters we brought that had died.
Yeah, I had like lost like one sprinter and maybe another one on the A cap. I think I don't remember. But,
we killed 5, so somebody was having a bad time.
yeah, you definitely
match-
killed my one on the A cap.
Yeah, match 0 never happened. There was never a valley match.
Yeah.
Nope, didn't happen.
Fuck Valley. Me and my homies
no.
hate Valley.
Okay, so
Jesus.
you guys have to win now, right? Because otherwise we look bad. So I
Yeah,
wish you the best
Grum
of luck.
Okay.
Patriots need to continue the fight, all right?
The Grum Patriots must take it to the top.
we
doing
need
this for the
to
Grunt
we need to
Patriots.
run Grugcellos at some point. We have to.
Oh,
I
Eight
wish
pit
I
bosses.
wish
Deploy
we had
8
done that
pit
in the
bosses
first
now.
rounds. Deploy 8 pit
Mini
bosses.
boss.
The fact that the pit boss is such a mainstay in the meta going on here is very
I
funny.
hate that it is.
it's so good.
I would like to
I'm not used
congratulate.
to it.
Sorry.
It's not my forte, but it is very funny.
If I may, I'd like to congratulate Colon 3 for their win, and hope to see you guys next week in the semifinals.
commiserations to the guild, although I trust that you'll be playing in some more skirmish matches with the other teams in the tournament server, just to help them with some more practice, or just to hang out there if you want. You made it pretty far. You made it further than 18 other teams, so I consider that an achievement.
I'll be back.
Oh yeah, you'll be back for my next one, will you?
DM Vastal Seal picks, and they'll make another tournament.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, looking forward to the next one already.
We at partway through that, about halfway through that game 2 there, we thought we were just fucked. We thought it was over.
It turned so hard when those missiles landed. We were like, all right, we're back. We're so back. And then we just started shelling. And then
the beam,
the beam
and the missiles.
I think it was even before the missiles and beams. You were already like very our cap fleet got a trident. Like
the light strike just fucked all of our caps.
Yeah,
like
the guild had really good positioning on their anti-cap assets in the beginning of the second match. There, they just chewed through all your shuttles pretty quick.
Yeah, I think the one call that I would make if I was doing this comp again as the cap player is the pit boss would be out and I would have 2 more beam DDs because my god, the beams are so good. Like, you need the restriction.
I mean, so is pit boss though.
I've never trusted pit boss.
I think what you should do with pit boss is you play it kind of near other assets, and it basically is just an extension of your front line that like defends a singular cap. You don't want to like do it too far away from your other front line, otherwise it's isolated and an easy target for bombing and
but like
craft.
I'm really feeling the beam DDs lately. Maybe this is just me and other people are not doing so well with them, but like I found that I am frequently able to get DD onto a front line.
They're very good.
That it swings engagement.
No, beam DDs, I like beam DDs much better than I like pit bosses. Pit bosses, I feel, is just... Pit boss is such an obvious target if it gets detected.
Yeah,
right?
like, I feel like pit boss is so common. It's, oh, that's pit boss. Deploy the fucking KBUs or something.
Yeah, remove the pit boss. Send in the pit boss removal equipment. But with
break
beam...
the tank on the casino.
Beam destroyers, not only do you get more of them, but they're much easier to hide behind rocks and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's why I'm saying you like... play it near the front line so you have like the air cover from the rest of your front line, and also I would say you don't want to go full investment or full bottom investment at pit boss, because it's like 1200 points gets you a piece of shit, 1400 points gets you something like that actually can a little bit defend itself against like torps and stuff, like just an interrupt basically. It does pretty well.
What were those shuttles made out of?
For real.
Oh, yeah, that was just, you guys were just shooting RPF.
Tech shuttle.
And then,
So-
you know.
The Haiti was overpenning.
The tech with the shuttle is you put your roof to a thing, but when you're getting RPF'd, you just DC prio every fucking, what are they called? The thrusters, because they're really unlikely to get hit. And that way your DC team doesn't, because when you're getting RPF, your death, you die because your DC team dies. And if you have it in your drive, in your reactor, in your CIC, it dies in seconds. But if you put it in your thrusters, it just won't.
That's actually good.
And then when they
That's-
switch to HE, it'll just overpen. If you're roof on, if you try to bout, because like, you know, if you try to bout, that kind of works pretty well against it. Then they switch to HE and you get 2 shot. So you got to put your roof to it, and then just
really good
try to put your teams into thrusters. It's really useful tech.
That's actually good tech, yeah.
That's cool, because it certainly beats the other method that I've had, which is like running it from one end of the shuttle to the other repeatedly, so it's never in.
Run!
Click that so fast with a rapid team on a shuttle.
If you zoom in, like, you know the bit in Star Wars where like Han is running away from the stormtroopers over and over and over again? It's just that.
I mean, the other thing is like the small DC like has 2 teams, so.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, you had small DC on that?
I small DC all my cappers. Because,
I
like,
do too, yeah. I small or reinforce depending on how much investment I want in them.
Reinforce? Oh, that's a
In
Reinforce this investment.
Shuttles, not shuttles, sprinters.
sprinters, yeah.
Oh,
especially
sprinters,
if they're torp sprinters. I like having the damage soak.
That's fair, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Just a small, like, sometimes your engine gets shot out and you can limp it into a cap point and cap some stuff. So
Yeah.
it's worth 10 points.
It is, yeah. Honestly, having good DC and cap assets is worth it. Generally, I feel.
GG's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good games from everyone.
Yeah, okay, your next tournament.
For sure.
I don't know.
If you don't win, I'm
know
gonna be
if
very
we're gonna-
angry at you.
I don't think we're gonna
Are you
win.
up against?
Maybe we'll make it to the finals though. Maybe.
Whoever won.
There's a
Cosmic.
chance, but
I know Cosmic
I
Express
really-
won theirs.
You're gonna get held on.
I really want the Claymore plushie. I really want it.
No, you guys are against 1-800 got hellbombed, I believe, because I believe they
Yeah.
won.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that.
Won't.
No,
we'll
don't
at the very least
worry.
have a good time.
Don't
True.
worry. I know how to counter Flynn. The answer.
Oh.
The answer.
Maybe you shouldn't say it right now. Maybe you shouldn't say it right now because Flynn is in my
Yeah,
Twitch chat.
It's Ada Cellos. Just run Ada Cellos.
Ada Cellos, can't lose.
Ada Cellos. Yeah, maybe don't
Yeah.
say that here. Flynn is in my Twitch chat.
No, look at that. Ada
This-
Cellos will counter them.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna stop? Like, what are you gonna do?
I'm so sad that mini boss isn't a thing anymore, though, that people use.
I mean, it was kind of like I feel like Mini Boss was a creature of pubs. Like that was there because it was like pubs were such a mess and it like worked in pubs. So
What-
you can
what
still
is-
the
what
Grugcellos.
is
That's
Mini
basically
Boss?
a mini boss.
It's,
Mini
Mini
boss
boss, it's
is
Pit
if you
Boss,
took
but in
Pit
a cello.
Boss and put it on a cello.
it's just
It-
not as good because you don't get RPF.
You don't get RPF. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That
don't-
simple.
Yeah.
250
But
without
it's
the
really funny.
RPF is kind of rough.
Yeah.
No,
But you
100
do-
mil-
you do get to have
100 mil
bastions,
plasma
so.
cello.
You do,
That's the
yeah.
answer.
Plasma Cello, 100.
Like
Plus
the
100
Grugcello fleet is just basically a slight. It's a better mini boss, but not by that much.
Well,
It's- and then
Snipes-
a plasma boss.
Snipes in one of the matches I casted brought a Plasma Cello and then a swarm of gun shuttles.
Yeah, the gun shuttles.
that-
yeah.
Yeah, that thing.
That shit's
That
good.
thing.
That is,
It's fun.
that's a little scary, actually.
Wireless,
You
wireless.
can just
fucking
like
Yeah.
vox.
Wireless.
Galaxy.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
call it wireless. Bluetooth Throngler would be one that has bombers, I would say.
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth.
Yeah,
The Bluetooth device has
Throngler
been
with HHC
connected.
Sturgs. That's the real Bluetooth Throngler.
Honestly, HEHC sturgeons are always worth it, in my opinion. Like, they do so
thing-
much damage if someone has plasma to ship, and they're very
Oh,
cheap
if
to bring.
someone's gotten
Just blue
bloomed.
like 1 or 2 points, right? And then in case
Yeah.
someone gets plasmid, and
Yeah,
then
I know.
you get
I
plasmid,
always,
just,
I
like,
always
switch
bring them
and it's like-
because yeah, sturgeons have insane 100 mil fire rate, and especially in the
Yeah.
capitals where your accuracy matters less, you just screw them up pretty badly.
I have had several times where I see a capital or well anything like DDs. I know I've had it to DDs and to Solomon's where they get bloomed, and then I immediately go to my carrier, cancel what's going out, and I just switch to HEH.
Yeah, honestly, fair. They're very effective.
It's
if
way
you can-
safer, and then you can cycle it way faster, and you can do it.
And
like,
it even does like the same damage if not
Yeah,
more.
and it's
triple
like-
damage,
and
40
it's-
times 70 times
and it's
0.6.
and it's 3 points to bring if you want ammo. Like it's just worth it.
Yeah, each one of those has 1,700 damage potential for each Sturg, which is like, quite a bit considering they're all gonna hit, and you're not
Right.
you're putting them at 0 risk basically,
Yeah.
and like they cycle super fast. You're not spending any ammo on your R3s or anything. It's really funny. I just like them so much.
Flynn is offering to skirm with someone. Apparently, all of the members of 1-800 got hellbombed are on.
I do not think that we
The
have another
pregame.
game in us right now.
Honestly,
I'm
you
burned
know, honestly, fair.
I was exhausted going in. I am. Those were some really fucking good games.
They
I'm
were,
really
yeah.
happy with
You
how
guys,
those went.
yeah,
Yeah, if
very.
you guys want to skirm again when it's not 2 a.m. for me, I'm
Oh
down.
God.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or when I'm not sick.
Oh,
We were
Oof.
fighting them when they were tired and ill.
all right.
We won.
I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear
Definitely
it.
not, because we
I-
put all 9K of our front line bottom right on Yukon.
No, that would-
I don't.
Good old
I,
epoch. Nothing beats that, baby.
I don't.
Oh, baby.
I don't want to hear it. I casted when I had COVID last weekend.
Oh,
yeah.
That was fun.
not-
I don't know if in the recordings. I don't know if you can hear me trying to suppress my coughing in the background.
that's when you have to set up a keybind to mute, and you just like
Nah.
smack it.
My headset's really cool in that if I put my microphone up, it auto mutes, and I can just do that really quick.
I've got one of those, but it
Yeah,
broke
same.
after a while, and it no longer mutes when I do that, and it's really
Oh,
sad.
hello, Vren.
Oh,
Hi.
hello.
Hey.
What's
I-
brought
oh.
you here?
Or I'm the sub for it to go technically, so I was just like thinking about the match and then yeah, just wanted to say hi.
Yeah, if Ren had been here, you would have been completely done.
It would have been
No, I
over.
don't
I don't
think
know.
so.
I don't know. Maybe if Ren wasn't here, you know, the first game the bug doesn't happen, and you know, who knows?
Well, whatever.
Butterfly
I
effect.
I did notice that we maybe shouldn't have said the 450 battleship on Safari. I think, but
Yeah,
it's hard to
I
tell
was-
what information you have on that dime.
True.
So what can we do?
I was asking Potato to move independently of me because I
It
thought
was-
Potato was following me.
Commander Mink.
Our
Oh, well.
game plan there was to just take the underside of that. Like we saw a bunch of stuff drop high, so we just figured we're just gonna push underneath, take this rock. We have a close range composition. Well, minus the rail sailor or whatever.
Yeah.
With the monitors. And then like we hold 3 caps, and it's gonna be extremely hard for you guys to push anything because we have monitors sitting under a rock, and you can't really approach it from like.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah, no,
that did end up panning out because like the battleship had to push up, and then we were able to brawl
It's
it.
just
But like it got a lot messier
was-
than we wanted.
There was a really big bit in the middle where we were trying to go and do what we wanted, but weren't really.
The biggest scary part of that, I think when it really turned, at least when I was watching Spectator, was like when the pit boss went down, we lost a lot of our front line, and then
We
then
also
you
lost
could
information.
Well, that pit boss was built different. It would not die.
Yeah.
but then when we lost
like
it,
18
we-
R3s and then
Yeah,
a
but-
bunch of KBUs and did not
exactly.
die.
But when we lost it, then suddenly you had freedom movement again, and you didn't have to think about where to confront. And so I was like, why? But at the same time, like, it's difficult for me as a spectator to be like, what was going on in everybody's heads at that time. So I have to I was just like shutting up and like, okay, let my team do the
the
thing.
pit boss was kind of doomed. It was gonna die because we would just send more bombers at it.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
yeah,
which is
that's-
fine. But
that's what
we
I'm
had
saying.
no competition. Like we weren't in positioning to like counter it once it did die. And
Yeah,
so
there
you
was a
have
lot
to
of
be
fun.
ready-
I thought my wing of 6 coil tantos loaded with ASF missiles would be enough to scare off strikes,
18
and then there was more sturgeons, and I had
Kudos.
tantos on top of 3 times that number of kudas escorting the strike. So it's just like, well, we've lost that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why if you're gonna run CV, you kind of just run double levy unless you're like playing in pubs or for fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, it wasn't like I wasn't getting value out of my levy. I was killing a lot of cappers with
It
the
killed
light strike.
all the
That's its
cappers.
primary goal.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the coil tantos. I only have 12 of them. They are there. I have a wing of 6 parked on the battleship, and in this case, normally the other wing of 6 would be parked on the light cruisers, but I parked it on pit boss because the light cruisers and battleship were on top of each other, and they did their job scaring off strikes from the battleship because I got most of the torps and forced a price in sturgeons for trying to torp the battleship, but the pit boss ones just died because the Moorline threw its full weight at me, and I can't hold that off with 1,700 points of levy.
I
Right.
think what happened is you were trying to shoot your tantos were shooting at the bombers because a few of the bombers did get shot down, but not many of the kudas did. So I think it was just like the numbers
I was
meant that you were shooting
right-clicking
at.
the kudas, but I think the craft
Maybe.
AI was saying, "I'm gonna go kill the bombers."
It could be. I don't
Yeah,
I don't know
Craft AI
exactly
does
how it
that,
works,
doesn't it?
but I know that it shot down some bombers.
Mhm.
And that there were enough kudas that it would have been a decent fight, even in a vacuum. But like I think the fact that they were shooting at the bombers was what tipped it.
Yeah, because like the time that the Tantus were shooting at the bombers, and I was spam clicking on the kudas, like, no, go fight the kudas.
Yeah.
All of the time that my flashbangs had bought was torn up by them shooting sturgeons. So I only have one flashbang on each Tanto, so I salvoed the flashbangs, but then they decided to go try to coil the sturgeons, and it's like, well, there goes the advantage my flashbangs gave me.
I think that might have been because the sturgeons were closer to the Tantos at the time. Because I was watching that fight happen, and I was worried because the kudas were behind the sturgeons by a fair bit when the merge started. So I think that they were shooting at things that the sturgeons because they were closer, and then the kudas were basically able to join after that initial merge there.
Yeah, it was cooked. I
That's my
probably would
guess.
have gone down anyway, but I was hoping to at least get a few of the bombers and stop the strike. But that's what
Did get a
happens when
few
I
of the
have-
bombers, but did not stop the strike.
There was a lot more investment in the enemy air than my air there, so it makes sense that I lost it.
I'm going to hop out, but good games.